Sexual entities, sexually transmitted entities, part 2.
This is how it is. This is how it gotta be. Ain't no talking no more, bro. Straight action. Stand the shit. And energy.
This the way it should be, the way it should be. This the way it should be, the way it should be. I get back, get a match to the good beat. You feel the energy? This the way it should be, this the way it should be, the way it should be. This the way it should be, the way it should be. I get back, get a match to the good beat. You feel the energy? This the way it should be.
Alright, so some people believe that it is okay to act in sexuality in various different ways. Alright. In part 1, I described the energy of who and what you should be having sex with. So, I mean, of course you can have sex with anything, you can masturbate to anything, but just like wrestling, a lot of stuff is it's like crash when you find out that all your stuff is fake. Or you've been setting your stuff up for the wrong idea. But sexual transmitted entities is based upon a biblical, religious, scientific term. So it's actually mixing science and religion. The author of scientific religious books was based upon sex, and their belief was that demons live in the cells of sexually transmitted diseases. Okay? So, if you are scientific, if you're smart in the science field, you don't believe in spirits, scientific people still believe that demons exist in a cellular structure, okay, not a spiritual structure. And it's kind of like, what? What do you mean? You're supposed to be saving up sex. That's what the Bible says. You're not supposed to have sex at a young age, and then when you get older, that's when you have sex with the one that you have sex with. But since there has been sexually transmitted diseases on Earth, we aren't really able to tap into our higher consciousness. And that's why there's sexually transmitted entities. Okay, so I talked about the succubus. The succubus was kind of like an energy vampire. So what she did was take all of the things that I had and she made them better. And then she did it, whatever her process was in her religion, she wasn't realizing that it was a personal thing. Like, I know it's supposed to be like sleeping and dreaming, but she was, I don't know, she just wasn't spiritually clean, and I could feel it. Everything else was great, but the succubus witch was trying to tell me that she wanted to be a Christian. And that's when I started researching a lot of sexual demons. So the sex demons consist of succubuses, incubuses, and a whole bunch of other classifications in demonology. But there's a new study showing that the demons live inside of the cells of sexually transmitted diseases, like herpes and stuff. Okay, so that's the bad side of sexually transmitted disease. Now, 5 minutes in, we're going to dive into the good side. Okay, so the good side of sexually transmitted disease are as thus. In Genesis, the first chapter of Genesis, when they were in the garden or somewhere, there's a story of fallen angels coming down, and the fallen angels would have sex with the humans. And when the angels have sex with the humans, the babies would be half human, half angel, or they would call them giants. Okay, so sexually transmitted disease, like I was saying in part one, who you give your sexual energy to matters at the end of the day, because the sexual energy is creation. Okay, so the creation is being taken away and given to someone. Okay, every time that you interact with someone or something. So the more sexual it is, the more you're giving your lower self to someone. Okay, so when you're down, when you're like at your lowest state, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm living. I can't believe all this stuff is happening to me. That you're literally at your lower part of your body. That's where your mind is, at your lower part of your body. Okay, so what you have to do is stop watching porno and let your loved one be your porno, if that's the case for you. Like, if you have a loved one, make sure your loved one is your porno. I mean, if y'all both like that, then y'all can agree on something. But pornography is actually a lower state of what love should be. So it's a great example. The Bible says it's fine. It's a great example of how to make a baby. You can learn a lot from it, but don't become addicted to it if you already have the real thing in the real world. Alright? So they're like, oh my God, I watch porn every day. How do I get rid of this? Well, there is a fluid in your body called the Christ conscious. So Jesus Christ discovered this DMT type trip that he can naturally put himself on based upon abstinence and based upon saving his sexual energy. And we call this the Christ conscious. Alright, so what happens is that for a female, all the fluids, when they get turned on, it goes back into the body, it dries up, and that genetic code becomes their form of creation in the real world. So then they will be more creative, more imaginative, and more understanding about themselves. Okay, so the more that you save masturbation, the no fap, people be like, I'm not going to have sex until this. That is because when you save up that sexual energy, it becomes your superpower. It becomes the Christ conscious. The type of energy is classified as Kundalini energy. Okay, so people love to meditate, they love to pray, thank God, and they love to get back into their spirituality. Some people run across Kundalini energy, and they be like, what is Kundalini energy? And this is what it is. It's saving up your sex. It's not masturbating, not watching any porn, not even having sex, to create something. Okay, so that creation, if you have a lot of sperm built up in you, or you have a lot of what is built up in you, then the creation will be magnified on the spiritual plane. I promise. I'm an artist, so I know it's hard. Like, abstaining from sex and abstaining from masturbation. And it's okay to masturbate a total of 7 times a month in 30 days. So if you're masturbating 7 times a month for 30 days, stop after that 7 or 8, okay? Because then it's statistically showing that it is addictive after 7, okay? So if you can go below 7, hit 0, or you have a partner, y'all actually get into it, and y'all sexually frustrated, then y'all not creating, y'all not watching movies, y'all not, what I'm saying, y'all not diving into the art. Okay, so dive into the art. That's that Kundalini energy, and that is the good part of the sexually transmitted entities. Because, like in the Bible, the fallen angels will come down and they will try to have babies with the purest ones. Okay, so that is your mission as a Christian. I mean, if you with me, your mission, talking to me or whatever, like your mission is to stay focused, and not hook up. Because, I mean, the truth is, sexually transmitted diseases, even the thought of it, it's kind of cool, but they found out that they're actual demons and the genetic code of the diseases, which means even the thought process of having sex in a lower state, like when you're at your low just because I'm low, is the worst way to have sex, because even a thought brings demons. Okay, so watch part 1. Then you probably understand like the energy. Okay, give it to the one that you love the most, no matter how hard it is. Because then y'all are actually becoming one. Then y'all have the divine energy. Okay, so the Kundalini energy is just one person saving up that sexual desire so much that they